magic number now ticks to 8 as 8 races remain until we end up closing up the field as far as the 12 drivers that will make the Oreo Truck Series chase for the championship after Arizona. Today, though, we make our stop here for race number 19 of Season 6 of the Oreo Truck Series. We're at the Tricky Triangle in the Pocono Mountains. The Pocono Mountains 125, ready to be run here at Pocono Raceway. Certainly going to be a wild one. We've seen how Pocono really is a track where grip is key, especially heading through the 3 turns. A lot of drivers have not been able to conquer that, and we're going to see who's going to be able to here today. We could have a good battle for the points lead. I'm certain we're going to have a good battle for the win. Looks like it's going to be Kevin White sitting on the pole position for today's race. Kevin White, I believe, has sat on the pole one occasion before, but it's been a long time since he sat on the pole, so fast truck he brought here today as he's still looking for his first Truck Series win of the season. Alongside of him, William Duncan, who's been really on a momentum streak as of late. He's moved himself up now to 10th in the point standings, and he'll start on the outside of the front row, still looking for his first win here of Season 6. Brian James, he ended up losing the points lead last week at Kentucky after he got involved in a wreck. He'll look to bounce back here today as he tries to run down new points leader Dylan Poteet and get his points lead back. He'll roll off from 3rd, and Cody Lamas looking for his second win of the season as he won earlier on at Nazareth. Cody Lamas would love to be able to pick up a second win, maybe get himself up into the wild card picture as early as today. And completing the top 5 is going to be Noah Hart. Now, Noah Hart actually was eligible to make the championship hunt, at least in the top 10, last week. But he ended up having some tough luck at Kentucky as well. It's dropped him down to 20th in points. He'll look to regroup, get himself back inside the top 15 with a chance to maybe strike a spot in the top 10 next week. We're going to see what's going to happen here today. Points battle as it looks coming into today's race is Dylan Poteet atop the point standings by 9 points over Brian James. Dillon Young, who won last week his second race of the season at Kentucky, he's going to be 3rd in points. Trent Dunham's 4th. Then it's James McLeod, Chris Dollerton, Lyndon Wright, Andy Timmons, Prince Littlejohn, and William Duncan. Dillon Young became the 4th driver to win more than one race this season. Will we see a 5th driver here today? Going to find out as the command to fire the engines has just been given. These drivers will fire them up. They'll roll around this 3-turn racetrack for a couple of laps, and that'll give us time to show you today's starting lineup for the party in the I'm sorry, not the party in the Poconos. That's our Spring Cup Series race. Pocono Mountains 125 here today. And as I facepalm myself a couple times for that fail, here's your starting grid for today's race at Pocono. Here come the trucks down one of 3 of the long straightaways here at this racetrack as they now head into turn number 3, which is the final corner here. The only other 3-point track that we've been to this season was Castle Gorge. That's more considered kind of a short track than a speedway. So I doubt that any drivers that did well at Castle Gorge are going to be able to use this as a case study for Pocono. But nonetheless, we're ready to go. Kevin White, William Duncan, Brian James, Cody Lamas, Noah Hart, and Deanna Shelton. The green flag is out. We're underway here in the Pocono Mountains 125 at Pocono. 20-lap event, ready to be run. First car to step out of the line there, 3 wide, is actually the points leader, Dylan Poteet. Look at the inside line. I believe that was on Stephen Pollard III. Let's see if these drivers are going to get any grip. Looks like William Duncan slipped up a little there. He had to back out of the throttle as they come down the Long Pond straightaway. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Nobody really stepping out of line 3 wide as Kevin White will keep the top spot. Brian James going to move into second place. Noah Hart to third as Duncan begins to slip back through the field there. Danny Wells right underneath him now. That's for fourth place as Kevin White opens up a little bit of distance between himself and Brian James, about a car length. Brian James now by himself, but here comes Noah Hart on the inside line looking for third. As he'll try and get the run off of turn 3. Don't look like he's going to get it. First lap of the night, or the day rather, going to be led by Kevin White. Good battle raging for second, and there goes Noah Hart to the inside line of Brian James. Let's follow this battle as Dillon Poteet, Danny Wells, William Duncan, and a good tussle for fourth place as well. Nice clean pass there by Noah Hart. He will take over second position. And whoa, someone spun in the back. Somebody has spun down to the infield. Smoke there. That was the Sean Henley machine. Sean Henley, the 88, just got turned around on the Long Pond straightaway. As Noah Hart's going to battle for the lead now. And Henley's been able to continue on. There is damage to, I believe, the left side, maybe a little bit of the left rear of the 88. Somebody else just got spun. That was Bob Jones, the 11. And are we under caution yet? Yes, we are under caution. Bob Jones getting spun. That was the steel guardrail right there that he hit. And you can see the extensive damage on the FedEx Toyota Tundra. And at the line, Noah Hart was able to get by Kevin White. He will be the leader under our first caution of the day, which looks like it's come out for 2 solo truck spins. One down the Long Pond straightaway, and then the other one down the straightaway between turns 2 and 3. But the caution flag is out for the first time today. And they'll give these drivers a chance to regroup and get into a single file formation for our restart. But nonetheless, Noah Hart is the current leader here at Pocono. Let's jump back, look at a replay. Sean Henley, another driver who's been trying to move himself up through the points to be able to get a spot inside the top 10. Came in today 17th in the points stands. Looks like he's going to get really loose off this corner. Make some contact with the 23 of Andy Timmons. And then Kyle Thomas just gets into his left rear, and around goes the Mountain Dew Amp Chevy Silverado. Roof flaps engaged right there. That helps keep the car on the ground. That car, with the speed it was carrying, could very well have gotten airborne had the air gotten underneath of him. And watch this. He's trying to save it, trying to save it, trying to save it. He's trying to turn as hard to the right as he can. He is going to hit the wall just a little bit there with the left front as well as a little bit with the left rear. But it could have been worse for Henley. Jumping up now to see what happened to Bob Jones. They're telling me the caution did not come out for Henley's spin. It came out instead for Bob Jones' spin. Let's see what happens here coming off this corner. Where's the contact going to begin? Oh, Radigan. Right there, John Radigan. I think he kind of squeezed. I think that might have been the Alex May machine up into the wall, and Bob Jones just ran into the back of the 24. And Radigan apparently was able to keep it together. But Bob Jones, that's how he actually got his real bad damage on the front of his car. It wasn't by hitting the steel guardrail on the infield at all. He actually backs it into the guardrail there with the right rear. Boy, that's a tough break for Bob Jones. Absolutely no reaction time there as Radigan was turned completely sideways in front of him. So that was what brought the caution out, and probably if Radigan had not turned sideways and Bob Jones had just spun, we may actually still be under the green flag. Because when a car spins down there into the grass area, then NASCAR does not exactly deem it an obstruction, an obstacle, or a threat to any other drivers on the racetrack. So Sean Henley, I think we could safely say, caught a break right there with that caution coming out. But nonetheless, Bob Jones and Sean Henley, they're the reason the caution has come out. Also, John Radigan and Alex May getting some damage from some of this as well. So back now to the restart. Getting ready to go back under the green flag. Noah Hart is going to be the leader. Second place is going to be Deanna Shelton, rather. Then you got Danny Wells, Cody Lamas, Charles Sanford, Adam Chambers, Jacob Lawler, Lyndon Wright, Nick Bellardo, and Tyson Broad. Seem a little strange? Well, that's because a few drivers actually did come down pit road this time. So some pit strategy coming into play. There they are. Dillon Poteet, Kevin White, Brian James, William Duncan all decided to come down pit road. They are going to restart, I believe, in 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th place. So I believe the top 13 decided not to come down pit road this time. They decided to stay out. And as a result, they're up inside the top 10, just inside the top 15. Noah Hart is going to be the leader. Remember, we talked about Noah Hart. 20th in points right now, 6th in rookie points. He has a Snickers Cup Series win this season, came at Darlington. He's still trying to win here in the Truck Series, and he's trying to move himself up through the point standings to be able to battle for a spot in the wild card or inside the top 10. Here's Danny Wells. Danny ended up coming into today's race 29th in points, and he's obviously a driver who could get a wild card spot if he could pick up his second win of the season. Same deal for Cody Lamas, who is currently 38th in the points. There's Adam Chambers. Haven't talked about Chambers much this season, but Chambers trying to get back into the chase. It would be his 5th chase in 6 seasons if he can make it. And Chambers, amazingly enough, he's actually running 16th in the point standings as the green flag comes out. I apologize for the mistakes I'm making, guys. I just woke up, so my mind's not exactly going at full speed right now. But, oh well. As Noah Hart is going to lead them into the first turn. Danny Wells now looks underneath Deanna Shelton. That's a battle for 2nd place. And you can see right there, no truck is really able to keep it right down the inside line. The speed they carry into that corner and the way that the banking is, the degree of banking, it's not high. So these drivers have a lot of difficulty carrying that much speed into the corner and not having the car want to slide up the racetrack on them. And I think that could be a big key of what happened with John Radigan and Alex May when we had our first caution. I think Radigan ended up sliding up off that corner, and that's how he squeezed the Alex May machine into the wall, and that's how the caution ended up happening. As now Adam Chambers, man, is he on a momentum roll right now. He's picked up quite a few spots. He's now up to the 5th position, looking for more, looking for 4th place rather, underneath of Charles Sanford. Deanna Shelton now wants to go back to the inside line for 2nd place off of Danny Wells. Big question here is if we do go into a long green flag run, how long is it before these top 13 drivers who stayed out are going to have to come down pit road? If we go clean and green, they may be screwed. Noah Hart is still the leader, though, by quite a margin. Still has been keeping about a truck length between himself and the 2nd place driver, now Deanna Shelton. Sanford now moves by Danny Wells. That's for 3rd. Chambers now looking for 4th. And they're telling me that Charles Sanford started back around the 40th position. 39th, 40th, somewhere around there. Boy, has that pit strategy of staying out really worked in his favor up here at the front of the field now. As I'm looking back there, I'm seeing a few big names who are running at the back of the pack here right now. One of them is James McLeod. He has not made up a whole lot of ground, and neither has Trent Dunham. McLeod's in 28th currently. Dunham is in 30th. Then you jump a little bit further back, you get to the Sean Galligan machine, who had a great run last week at Kentucky. He's back here in 33rd place, and Chris Dollerton, he is way back. And last week's winner, Dillon Young, also way back here. 36th and 38th are where they're running. 39th is Prudence Littlejohn. Alex May just got the wall there, but these drivers, boy, they're having tough luck. On the flip side, though, let's find out where Brian James, Dylan Poteet are. I think they're somewhere around each other. Brian James is actually in the 18th position. Poteet's running better than he is. Let's see where Poteet's currently running. So right now, Poteet would still be the points leader. Yeah, he's running 13th place now, is Dylan. As he almost had a challenge from Dunlop Pratt. Now he'll start to close in on Charles Jackson. Whoa, 3 wide up ahead there. Deanna Shelton, Lyndon Wright, Cody Lamas. Careful, oh, they get the wall, and there they go. Right in front of the field. Cody Lamas, Lyndon Wright, Pollard's involved. Tyson Broad has gotten a piece of it. Dunlop Pratt spins to the infield. Nick Bellardo's held up back there. Zach Rogers is in it. And that was right up at the front of the field, too. Brian James, I think, got through it. Trent Dunham got through it. See where other of our top 10 were involved. Dillon Young, I think, got through. Prince Littlejohn was okay. I think Stephen Paul III got a little piece of it, though. Our defending race winner at this track, actually. Chris Dollerton apparently got through. Dylan Poteet was okay. And coming down to the stripe, Noah Hart is still the leader. And look at the gap that opened up between 3rd and 4th place. It was Noah Hart, Sanford, and Danny Wells all by their lonesome. Then you had to go a long ways back to 4th place Adam Chambers and 5th place Jacob Lawler, but the caution is out, and a few drivers that were running well involved in this one. There's the Tyson Braun machine, Cody Lamas, who was the car that ended up getting turned around there. Bob Jones is coming to pit road, but we've been told he's been making multiple pit stops in that 11. Don LaPrade got a piece of it too. There's Rogers, Deanna Shelton, Nick Bellardo, Lyndon Wright, lots of drivers involved there. Lyndon Wright comes in 7th in the points. This is not what he needed to have happen. But the caution flag is out nonetheless. Let's head back, take a look at what happened. Looks like, again, a lot of tight racing coming off the corner, and they tried doing it 3 wide. This was just too tight. You could tell coming off this corner. Deanna Shelton, Cody Lamas, Lyndon Wright, and right there you see Lamas kind of squeezes Shelton into the wall. Lyndon Wright's going to get clipped in the right rear. That's going to spin his 77 around, and then everybody just has to scatter and try and find their way through. And that's why the gap took place between 3rd place Danny Wells and 4th place Adam Chambers, because it was in the 4th position that battle was taking place, and it just went south in a hurry. Wow, Dylan Poteet just barely gets through. He may have gotten a little contact with Tyson Broad, I'm not sure. There's the Cody Lamas machine spinning. Oh, he got hit by Mark Thomas in the 25. Zach Rogers is caught on the high side there. Nowhere for him to go. Trent Dunham and Brian James just barely squeezed their way through as everybody else goes through the grass area in order to avoid. Prince Littlejohn there. Brian James, Dunham, Dillon Young able to get through. And right there you see him right there in your screenshot. The 29, 77, 3, 33, 39, 59, and 14. Basically the drivers involved in this one that had extensive damage going to Zach Rogers and Cody Lamas, 2 former winners this season. Tough break for them. Caution's out again. We're past the halfway point. Let's head back to green. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 15 of 20. That'll give us a total of 6 laps to go when we do indeed get the green flag once again. I've been rather surprised. I thought for certain we were going to see these drivers that are out in front here dive for pit road, since they ended up staying out under the last caution flag, but apparently they're thinking about stretching it the full 20 laps. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, but if they can, you can bet your bottom dollar the Mobile and Cup Series and Snickers Cup Series drivers are going to be keeping their eyes on that. May see some drivers try and stretch it to 20 laps in those 2 events, as Noah Hart is still the leader. 2nd place is going to be Charles Sanford. 3rd will be Danny Wells, Adam Chambers in 4th, and Jacob Lawler will run 5th. How about Kyle Thomas? He ended up getting involved in that little incident there with, I believe it was Sean Henley, when the green flag dropped. Henley got spun around there coming out of, I believe it was turn number 1. Kyle Thomas has recovered nicely to 6th. Pole sitter Kevin White, he's in 7th. Charles Jackson is 8th, and Pichu London up to 9th as he's 15th in points. We could see him maybe trying to knock on the door for a top 10 spot today. And Andy Timmons, after hard luck last week, he's going to be in the 10th position, 8th in points, and currently only 6 points behind Lyndon Wright for the rookie points lead. And Lyndon Wright, we know, had trouble in that last caution. The rest of the top 20 are going to be Alex DeMarco, William Duncan, Eric Burton, Austin LaPlante, and Dylan Poteet is in the top 15s. The green flag's back out. Top 20 completed by Aaron Williams Jr., James McLeod, Sean Galligan, Joshua Michaels, and Chris Dollerton. We talked about him running way at the back of the pack. He's now worked his way up into the top 20 as Charles Sanford takes a peek to the bottom now of Noah Hart. First challenge for the lead. Noah Hart's had basically all day long since taking it over after our first caution. And Sanford, whoa, they're bouncing off each other right there. They're still bouncing off each other. The 45 and the 16 side by side. Advantage is going to go to the 45 in this corner, and the caution flag immediately has come out once again. This must have been near the rear of the field because it doesn't look like there's a big gap at the front of this big pack, but nonetheless, Charles Sanford is the leader now. This is a battle to get back to the caution flag, and I don't know if we'll get back to green flag racing or not. This could be key right here, as Sanford's going to lead off of turn number 3. Danny Wells second, and the caution flag waves over the 45's hood. Now, could that in theory, be the checkered flag as well. I don't know. 5 laps to go when they hit the stripe right then. Now let's see what that caution actually came out for. I don't know who it could have been, but I'm suspecting it might have been Sean Henley again. He's way off the pace, and yeah, he's coming to pit road. I think it was the 88 again. Boy, got spun out to bring out the first caution, and now gets involved in yet another incident. That's a tough break for Henley. Pocono has just not been going his way here today, as it appears that that is indeed the case. Sean Henley appears to be both the first and third caution of the day. See what happened to the 88. Quite a pack of cars racing back here, including a few drivers inside the top 10 in points. Last week's winner, Dillon Young. Also Trent Dunham and Brian James. That is second, third, and fourth in points that are going to be right behind this incident that I think is going to take place between... Well, no, actually it was Henley. Came up into Dillon Young. And then Brian James going to get a little piece of it there. He goes down into Kyle Corbett. And oh, up ahead, are you kidding me? One Home Depot truck just turned the other Home Depot truck. Little John turned her teammate Alex May. And then look out, everybody trying to avoid the 88 of Henley. Looks like they're going to be able to do it, but did I really just see that? One Home Depot truck turning the other? That's exactly what I saw. Oh my goodness. Prudence Littlejohn and Alex May, teammates out of Joe Gibbs Racing, both with the Home Depot scheme, get together, and Alex May is going to go spinning through the grass area, courtesy of Prudence Littlejohn. Wow, I never thought I would see that, but we just done diddly saw it. And that happened just after Sean Henley and Dillon Young got together, and that is going to be interesting to see how that's going to impact Dillon Young. 1 week after picking up his second win of the season, he gets involved in this incident. I'm certain he's pancaked the right side of his car, maybe damage as well to the left front after he turned the Henley machine into the wall. But Alex May, wow. Alex May, I'm surprised he actually just kept driving straight. He hits the apex part of the steel guardrail, and now he's got damage to his Home Depot Toyota, but nonetheless, the caution comes out again. I'll tell you what, we've really escaped quite a few what could be really big cautions. I think the most drivers involved in a wreck so far this race has been maybe a total of 6 or 7. Not the typical Pocono that we've seen here, so we've really escaped with some pretty lucky things here at Pocono that could have been much worse. But nonetheless, we are under the caution flag. Let's see if NASCAR is going to be able to pull it off. Let's see if we can have a green-white checker or one-lap shootout. Or will this race end under caution? Charles Sanford sure hope so. Well, NASCAR has done it. The fans are going to get what they want. A one-lap dash to the finish here at Pocono Raceway. Charles Sanford out in front. Charles Sanford is looking for his first career Truck Series victory. Charles Sanford only ran one other season. It was his rookie season in Season 4, where he ended up finishing 75th in the point standings and winless. This season, he's running a little bit better. He's currently running 27th in the standings, but he still is looking for that brass ring. He wants to pick up his first career Truck Series victory, but he's got some pretty hungry customers behind him. You got Danny Wells, former winner this season. He's lined up in second place. Jacob Lawler, 13th in points. A win could catapult him into the top 10, so he'd love to be able to win today. Noah Hart's currently running in 4th, and Adam Chambers is in 5th. Sorry about that. 6th place is going to be Kyle Thomas. 7th will be Kevin White. Then you got Charles Jackson up in 8th, Pichu London 9th, and Andy Timmons will complete the top 10. Top 10 really doesn't look much different from our last restart. Same for the top 15. DeMarco is currently in 11th, William Duncan is 12th, Aaron Williams Jr. is 13th, 14th Austin LaPlante, and 15th will be Dylan Poteet. 16th place Eric Burton, 17th Sean Galligan, 18th Chris Dollerton, James McLeod 19th, and Emilio Neverett is going to complete the top 20. Let's find out where the rest of the drivers coming in top 10 in points are currently running. There's Dougie Shears, 11th in points. He's trying to work his way back in the top 10, but he's back in 22nd place right now. Prudence Littlejohn is currently 25th. There you got Trent Dunham in 26th place. Brian James is all the way back in 29th. Dillon Young, after the damage he received, he's in 34th place, so not a good run for him at all. And I don't know if we've had any retirees from the race. Oh yeah, we have. Bob Jones is retired, so is Cody Lamas and Tyson Broad. Green flag, white flag in the air. One lap shootout. Can Charles Sanford hold him off? Jacob Lawler looking at the inside line to try and go for second place underneath of Danny Wells, but Chambers now looks even lower for fourth place off of Noah Hart. And Sanford got himself a good jump there, good restart, about a car length advantage he opened up between himself and Danny Wells. You see Danny Wells move a groove up there, about a half groove to a full groove up the racetrack. That's to try and get the run off of turn number 1. Now into turn number 2 they come. Let's see if Danny Wells can close the gap. No, wait a minute, here comes Jacob Lawler to the inside, and the caution flag is out. Doesn't really matter though. We're still going to race it to the checkered flag. As they come out of turn 2, Lawler going to get by Danny Wells for second place. Will he try and dive bomb it here for the lead? Charles Sanford trying to hang on. He moves up a groove higher, even higher there to try and get the run off of 4 if necessary. Doesn't matter though. He's cleared Lawler, and he's going to come down out of turn number 3. Charles Sanford finally picks up his first career Truck Series victory. Sanford wins the Pocono Mountains 125 here today at Pocono. It's been a long time coming for Charles Sanford. He's been close on many occasions this season, but not able to close the deal. Today, he is going to close the deal up, and he's going to win here at Pocono at the Tricky Triangle. Jacob Lawler looks like he's going to get second. Danny Wells third. Chambers a great run in fourth. And fifth place, I believe, was the 43 of Kyle Thomas, but the caution did come out. And all was for Dougie Shears, and look at the damage on the Ford Motorcraft F-Series. The leader's now passing by his machine. Oh my God, I don't think he can even see where he's going. Whoa, look out, look out, look out. Either he cannot get to... Oh, I bet he's got some flat front tires. He probably can't even drive that thing. Dougie Shears. Oh my goodness, the damage. He must have jacked up somebody or something, or else he pounded the inside safety barrier. I don't know what the case is. Why don't we quickly jump back, take a look at what happened to Dougie Shears, because that kind of damage, I think that's replay worthy. This was a battle just inside the top 20. I believe it was actually a battle for around the 15th position. Chris Dolleton, Sean Galligan, Eric Burton, all going 3 wide. Contact's going to be almost exactly the same as it was between Deanna Shelton and Cody Lamas. And Galligan's going to get hooked right up hard into the wall by Eric Burton. And then here comes Dougie Shears in the 21. And watch the contact right here when they come into view. Oh, man, I think we're going to have a few other drivers get a piece of this, too. Oh, Trent Dunham. Oh, man, Dunham just barely got through that. Good heavens. Oh, man, there's the hits. Oh, my goodness. Stephen Pollard the third right into Dougie Shears. It flips the Eric Burton machine over. There's another red car back there. I think that's Nick Bellardo. He's trying to get through. He hits Dougie Shears. He gets hit from behind by, I believe that was Dunn LaPrade. Oh, Zach Rogers gets flipped over. The 33, who'd he get nailed by? Is that Brian James? It might be. It is. It's the 15 of Brian James. Lightning strikes twice the second week in a row. Dillon Young, did you see the damage he had on his 84? I don't know where that came from. Oh, he hit Lyndon Wright. Let's jump back to the 84 of Dillon Young. There he is. He's going to run into the back of the 77 of Lyndon Wright right here. Right there. And look at Dunn LaPrade sliding through the corner, trying to whoa up. And then I think when Mark Thomas who was it that flipped the 33 car over? Oh, I think we already established it was Brian James. Oh man, Brian's right up there against the outside retaining wall, and then another car went up there too. That might have been either Prince Littlejohn or Alex May. Whichever driver it was didn't have a hood. It's right behind Galligan. That's the Alex May machine. There's Dunham. Kyle Corbett getting a piece of it there. Zach Rogers flipping. The 8 of Eric Burton got airborne. Galligan hard lick. Alex May held up there. Dougie Shears, Mark Thomas, LaPrade, Bellardo, and there is the Brian James machine. You could just barely see the Napa Auto Parts Toyota Tundra behind the upside down 33. Stephen Pollard the third there as well, the former race winner at this track, and Sean Henley involved in the third wreck of the day for him. And oh my goodness, if things did not play out huge in the point standings before, it's definitely going to play out now. Brian James 2nd in points, Dillon Young 3rd in points, Trent Dunham 4th in points, Lyndon Wright 7th in points, and Prunes Littlejohn 9th in points involved in this incident. And a few drivers trying to work their ways inside the top 10 in points also involved, including Dougie Shears and Nick Bellardo. So this is definitely going to pay huge dividends as far as a point shakeup today. But Charles Samper is your winner today. There he is in the 45. As we'll skip over here to when he took the checkered flag. And we'll fast forward a little so we can give you your official top 10 results, as we always do. Samper with the win, first of his career. Lawler's going to come away with second, so he could be inside the top 10 in points after what we just saw there on the final lap. Danny Wells is going to get third, fourth is Kyle Thomas, and Adam Chambers officially finished in the fifth position. Sixth place was Noah Hart, who led a majority of this race. Charles Jackson's going to get seventh. Pete Ulud, another driver we could see up inside the top 10 today, so he came in 15th in points. He's going to finish 8th. Great run for Alex DeMarco. He's really needed a good run, that 27. And Kevin White, the pole sitter, is going to hang on to finish inside the top 10. We know the hard luck that Brian James had, and Dylan Poteet finished in 16th. Dylan Poteet will remain your points leader heading into next week's race at Chicagoland. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finish results. Overall point standings and rookie points heading into next week's race at Chicago. We're not done with Pocono, though. We still got a mobile and Snickers Cup Series event to come here. Hope you'll tune in for those, as you've been watching the production of the SRA, offline racing at its best.